us create that will guide us into the heart of darkness.
Greetings, sir. This may concern. Christian Aguilar here, back with another movie review. And in today's movie review, I'm going to be reviewing the film, well, the most recent David Cronenberg film entitled Crimes of the Future. The film stars Viggo Mortensen, Léa Seydoux, and Kristen Stewart. And the film is essentially set in a world where humans adapt to a synthetic environment with new transformations and mutations. And the story follows a celebrity performance artist named Saul Tenser and his partner Caprice, played by Viggo Mortensen and Léa Seydoux respectively. They publicly showcase the metamorphosis of Saul's organs in his body in a very avant-garde performance. And when they meet Kristen Stewart's character, Timlin, she is seduced in their ways of performing. So right off the bat, I was really hyped to see this movie. I remember seeing the trailer for it sometime last year, at the end of last year, because this came out earlier this year, I think around February or March of this year, if I'm not mistaken. But I was really excited to see this. David Cronenberg was directing it. He wrote and directed. I mean, this is, I think out of all of his movies, this is the most David Cronenberg film visually. I mean, you can't get more Cronenberg than this. I think Brendan Cronenberg will probably try to top that, but as of right now, this is the most David Cronenberg film you could ever watch. And unfortunately, for me personally, it didn't stick the landing as much as I wanted it to. I don't know if this really had anything to say. I could give it a rewatch, but on my first watch, I felt the plot really kind of was none. The only thing that was really interesting was when Kristen Stewart's character came in and she wanted to be a part of their little performance that they do for these, like, I would say underground. This whole movie feels like this all could take place in like an underground weird body morphing society, but no, this is the whole world. Like, I guess all of society has turned to this dystopian, we care about our organs and where our not adaptation, but where our evolution will go next. That's this whole world that Cronenberg painted for us, and I would have loved to explore more of the politics and the daily ins and outs of this world, rather than just focus on these two performers. I think trying to better their art, they're just trying to find a more abstract, a more shocking way to present their performance. And again, the only plot that I can see coming into this is Kristen Stewart's character, because she wants to get in between the relationship that Viggo Mortensen and Léa Seydoux already have in the movie. She wants to be his partner in a weird way. It's like a combination of both a sexual desire to be his partner and also an artistic desire to be his partner. Like, she sees herself on the same creative plane as Viggo Mortensen's character, right? So this whole confrontation, this whole dynamic is really the big plot in this movie, and I feel like they could have utilized that whole dynamic way more so. I feel like the movie, by the time it reaches its end, just ends. It just abruptly ends, and we kind of don't get any satisfaction or conclusion at the end of this. Again, I will probably give this a rewatch. Maybe I can pick up on things that I didn't the first time around, but for the first time watch, it left me wanting a little bit more. Visually, it's striking. You know, visually, you got a lot of crazy stuff to look at. I mean, it's a David Cronenberg film, so of course you're going to get some crazy visual shit. So this movie is compact with that. It's compact with the body horror aspect of everything. It delivers on that level. If you're here for some visually disturbing stuff and some out-of-world weird shit, you're gonna get that here. But a solid plot, something that really makes you think or reflect on us, I don't think you're really going to get any of that out of this, unfortunately, because I didn't get any of that out of here. And also the performances, I felt could have been, because these three actors are very, very talented. I felt like they could have been utilized a little more, just a little more. The blueprints were there. You gave them weird and otherworldly characters, but I felt like we could see where these characters could go, push these characters to the edge, and what drives them crazy, what drives them to sanity, maybe, you know? Again, everything just felt like it could have just been utilized a little more. I don't know, I would like to see I would like to see if there was anything more that could have came from this world or these characters. And unfortunately, with the 1 hour and 47-minute runtime that we have for this movie, you still are left wanting more. Unfortunately, again, compared to like A History of Violence or The Fly, I like David Cronenberg. This does not stand on its own. Regardless of that, I still want to go back and watch all of, if not most of, David Cronenberg's films. There's a lot of films in his filmography that I've only heard of but I've never seen, and I would like to go back and try to watch as many as I can. I know I've seen History of Violence and The Fly, but there's a couple others in there that I want to rewatch, and just because he has this weak link of a movie, in my opinion, doesn't deteriorate me from watching any of his other works. David Cronenberg is a very talented and is a very well-renowned filmmaker, which is why I was a little upset with Crimes of the Future. So what is my rating for this movie? I have to give this movie a solid 2 out of 5 Skarsgårds. Yes, 2 out of 5 Skarsgårds. If you're wondering, out of 10, that's 4 stars out of 10. There, to put it in perspective. But 2 stars out of 10, 2 stars out of 5, sorry. I felt, again, it had a talented cast. They do great with what they're given. They don't give a weak performance whatsoever. But I just felt like, again, their characters could have gone to bigger places and they could have gone to deeper depths, per se, in the performances. They could have gave more if the material was there. And I also love the visual effects of everything. Everything looked to be practical, which is sick and which is awesome. I love practical effects, and it shows. Like, the one striking thing that came out, I mean, it was even in the trailer, if you watch the trailer for this, is the dude dancing with all the ears around his body and stuff, so stuff like that, it's in here, and you're going to be pleasantly surprised by that. But in terms of the plot, it was weak, and I just felt like he could have gave us a little bit more in terms of substance in this movie. Oh, and by the way, this movie is available on Hulu, so if you want to go and check it out based off your own interest, you can go and check it out on Hulu if you have it. So that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for reading to the end of it. What did you think of Crimes of the Future if you saw it? If you didn't, have you heard of this movie, or were you ever interested in this movie? Have you heard of David Cronenberg? Are you a fan of David Cronenberg? Let me know everything down below, and as always, please like, share, and subscribe, support the channel. It's always very much appreciated. The rendered image is a show I co-host, my good friends Tyler and Shannon. Link to the channel will be down below in the description. We go over all the latest movie news, updates, and trailers, so be sure to go over there and check that out. I hope you're all safe and well out there, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.